Excellent. I have a question in the chat box already from Bobby for Kevin. He says, how many years have you been on ESPN SportsCenter?
Oh,
That's a good one. So I've been on SportsCenter for 12 years. I've been at ESPN for, what you could say 12 and a half years. I've been at ESPN for 14 years. So when I first got to ESPN, I did a variety of different things like ESPN News, Outside the Lines, College Football Live, NFL Live, Baseball Tonight. I was doing a lot of stuff. And then I got the phone call on a sick call one night if I could come in and do SportsCenter. And I knew I had to do a really good job that night if I wanted to be considered to do more. And I did fairly well. I was pretty nervous. And then literally the next day I got the phone call and they asked me to do 2 more the next week, then 2 more the next week. And then suddenly I'm getting 4 to 6 a week and then I'm in the rotation. So, you don't ever just, hey, you're going to be on SportsCenter this many times. It's, hey, let's see what they do. Let's try it out. And you got to work all the nerves that you feel. And then you got to just have a good show and have a good time.
That's good.
Good.
That's really good.
We have a couple more people joining us. Allie, hi Allie and Christy and Alicia. And here comes
I was working.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're here now. That's for sure.
Dad, I just quickly because I bought games and work to do to work from home.
Excellent.
Colbeck?
No.
Kevin is here. Our guest speaker of the day is here with us. You're just joining us. Say hello.
Hi guys. How we doing, everybody?
Good.
Good to see everybody.
Oh, yes.
And we've got Kimberly joining. So I think it's just about 12:30. Kimberly's hopping on. I think we can kind of get started. If everybody could press your mute button for a little while, we'll let Kevin take the stage and then we'll open it up for some questions. That would be great.
Me.
Well, first I want to say thank you to Kevin. Kevin is, for most of you, I think everybody knows who Kevin is, right?
Everybody's on
mute.
mute.
Raise your hand.
They're all nodding their head.
Raise your hand. You know, yes, thumbs up, thumbs up. Kevin is, he is an amazing SportsCenter talent, college football announcer, jack of all trades, I want to say. He's very, he's been part of the Special Olympics family for many years now, broadcasting from the World Games, from the USA Games. He hosts NFL Live, Baseball Tonight, Outside the Lines, so many different things that Kevin has done. And he's absolutely a fan of all of yours. So let's welcome Kevin to talk to you guys about, some of the things that he's done, maybe around the games or whatever you guys decide you want to talk to and ask questions as we go forward.
Lisa, thank you for that introduction. I'm honored to be here, and I'm grateful that Lisa asked me to join because obviously we are in unique times in the pandemic. So this is the next closest thing to being around you guys, right? Getting to see all your faces here on this Zoom chat and to be involved in these type of conversations. Lisa's the one that, her and Kevin Martinez at ESPN that got me involved 6 years ago. I remember Lisa was with me for the summer games in LA. We walked around the campus at USC and I was completely hooked. I was in on what you guys are doing with the enthusiasm and the energy. I fell in love with sports because all we wanted was a chance to compete, to play, to have fun and make friends. And I see that every day when I'm a part of Special Olympics. When I go to a venue, when I go to an event, when I see friends competing and just getting involved, that to me is special. I've only wanted a chance to compete. I've only wanted a chance to be considered a part of something. And so I've been very lucky to be at ESPN, which is part of Special Olympics. When it comes to a relationship and broadcasting the games and highlighting the athletes and their families. To me, it's one of the coolest parts of my job. And also it allows me to get back to the roots of why we love what we do, why we cover sport, right? Because it's about competition. It's about friendship. It's about learning about yourself. It's about getting back up after failing a couple of times and then just saying, I can do this. I'm going to finish this race, or I'm going to finish this competition because I believe in myself. And at the same time, there's nothing better than being cheered on by your family and friends. So I get that every time I go to a Special Olympics event and venue. And being at ESPN, it was my dream since I was 14 years old to be on SportsCenter. And I get to live that dream every day. And I get to talk about sports. And, you know, for example, tonight I'll be talking about LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler. But it's the same feeling I get when we're covering the World Games and when we're covering the USA Games in Seattle, or we're in the Winter Games in Austria, and down the road, the opportunity to cover the games in Russia or Germany or Abu Dhabi in the past. That's the great thing. There's nothing that touches the joy of getting the chance to be included in something. And when you could share that with friends and family, I think that's what Special Olympics is all about. So when Lisa and I talked about doing this and being involved, for me it was absolutely, how else can I get involved? What else can I do? Because it's the same messaging that I feel every single day in being involved in what I do at my job and sharing stories and highlighting athletes. I get the chance to highlight what you guys do, right? And you guys understand that what you do in the community, people look up to you. People understand that you're taking, you know, risks because you're working out and you want to make sure that you are as good of an athlete as you can be, right? You're excelling as much as possible. So people around you look up to you. And I think that's something that we all share as a responsibility together. You guys may not understand this. I didn't understand it until later on when I was, on TV enough and people came up to me and said, yeah, I look up and I watch you every day. There are a lot of people that are watching what you guys do when you guys compete and when you guys are helping others as role models. And we get the chance to do that every day, changing somebody's life, understanding that we're there for support and saying, hey, it's okay. I'm right here. We're here with you. We're family, we're friends, and I'm here to make sure everything's easier for you. And that's the cool thing about the community that we have with ESPN and Special Olympics. And to me, what I love about stuff like this, where we can do a Zoom chat and everybody is watching and listening, is I want to hear from you. I want to hear your questions, your interaction. It's not just about me talking. It's not just about me just saying things. It's about me hearing what you guys have questions about, that you guys think about, and then I could help share my experiences and also share some stories.
So with that, why don't we unmute, and if you guys could raise your hands or type something into the chat box there so we can share your questions with Kevin, that would be great.
Yeah.
I see Allie's hand up. Do you want to take the first question there?
Yeah. So Kev, knowing that you've been on ESPN for a long time, you still know my friend Kenny Mayne still?
Oh yeah, Allie, I do. I actually text with Kenny all the time, and he's a great ambassador.
I
and a great
really
ally.
miss seeing him, and we email each other occasionally just to see how he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing well, and I'll let him know that you said hi. Actually, you know what? I'll text him right now. I'll say, Allie from Special Olympics says hi. How about I do that?
Right, yeah. And with all your stuff you do, you and I did an event years ago where I introduced you, I think.
Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame dinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't that like another Special Olympics event where we introduced the World Games team together?
Mhm.
I think we did, and those are the cool things. Like when you get the chance to make those announcements on the stage, and you were great,
Yeah.
Allie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So how much courage did it take for you to learn like all your ESPN sports without trying to get messed up?
Oh, Allie, that's actually a really good question. It takes a lot of courage, and you know what? It takes a lot of confidence. And I had to learn that. There were many nights I'd come home after a bad show and I'd be a little frustrated and upset. And
Right.
I was very lucky, and I still am, that I have a family that supports me. My mom is my biggest fan. She texts me every time I'm on TV and says, "I like your hair, I like your shirt, I like your voice, I like your tie." And hearing from my mom means the world to me. So it has helped me. My brother always talks to me. I'm very lucky that I have a very supportive wife who
She watches you too?
she watches me, and you know, my 3 kids always talk about watching me, or, "Hey, we just saw you, Dad. Why'd you talk about this? What did you mean about this?" And so it helps me. It helps me understand that, you know, I'm not by myself when I'm on TV. I have people that support me, that people that believe me and in me. And also, Allie, there's going to be a lot of times where it's okay to mess up because I can forgive myself. So that's the one thing that I think a lot of sportscasters and broadcasters go through, that if you mess up, it's okay. And it's a great message that I pass on to my kids. If they mess up, it's okay. Let's pick up where we left off and let's just do our best. And my mom has always said that since I was little. I always wanted to be the best in everything. And my mom always said, "I don't want you to be the best at everything. I just want you to do your best." And I need to hear that all the time. I'm 44 years old, 45 now.
I'm going to be 41.
Huh? Are you 41?
Not yet. October 25th, I will.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank
And
you.
I have to hear that myself. So it takes a lot of courage to do stuff, but there's nothing better when you succeed at something and you feel like you did it and you didn't let the fear take over.
Because I want to share experience with you. See, I'm part with the Kennedy Center a little bit, and I do like these Zoom classes. And my interest is art all the time. And I've been working on some of my experiences with some of my projects. And because of Halloween coming up, this is one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I love Halloween so much.
That's great.
It took me a while to figure out like how I'm going to do well with my art projects and stuff, how I'm going to put pieces together. And I finally got it right. The teacher loved it.
Well, Allie, and this is a message for everybody here.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you do something, it's never going to be perfect. It's practice every day. First time I was on the air at Sports Center, I felt good. I look back and I'm like, oh, okay, I was all right. But I got better every day. Every single day I work at it. I'm teaching my kids that now. I have an 8-year-old boy who loves football, and he made a mistake the other day playing football, and he was really upset, and he forgot that he also scored 2 touchdowns. And I said, "Hey, listen, it's okay that you made a mistake.
Right.
You did something positive," and that's my message to you guys. There's going to be days where you're not going to have your best stuff. The best is coming back the next day. And then coming back the next day, never getting down on yourself to say, I don't want to do it anymore. You just have to keep coming back every single day. And this is a message for myself too, because it reminds me that every day I got to keep coming back, and it doesn't matter that I didn't meet my expectations yesterday. I can do my best today. I can be better than I was yesterday.
Just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allie.
We've got some more questions coming through the chat box here. Some really great ones. Let's see. So Jen Carlson wants to know, how has COVID-19 affected your job? Jen, raise your hand there. There she is.
Hi, Jen. How are you? So it has affected my job greatly because, you know, we didn't have sports for 4 months. There was a time where we were doing 2 to 3 hour shows, and it was a tough challenge on trying to understand what are we gonna do if we don't have any highlights and stuff. We found a way to get through it now, Jen. I could tell you, the 2 challenges right now is we have too many sports. We have everything going on right now, you know, which is great. It's great, but that means we're nonstop, you know, from basketball to baseball to football to college football, as hockey just wrapped up, to potentially golf and tennis just wrapping up at the U.S. Open. So it's a lot of fun now. The other part that has affected us is we don't travel, which is a smart thing, and I'm glad that ESPN and Disney are being smart about it. So us telling stories, have us in studio, or many of the guys that and girls that do play-by-play, they have to stay in a studio or they broadcast from home. So we're not there at the stadium. We're not at events as much as possible because we're being smart. So it has changed a lot of how we look at things and understand things, but it's the right thing to do right now.
Great. We have another message from Nick. Hi, Kevin. It's Nick Sinacori. I met you when you came to Simsbury High School for the Banner School. Do you remember me?
I do.
Also, where is he? Raise your hand.
Hey, Nick. I do. I do remember you. Yeah, and honestly, that was a lot of fun. Simsbury was loud that day. I was really impressed how great they were. There was a lot of energy in that building.
Let's see. He also wants to know, who do you think will win the MLB playoffs? And if you ever get a chance, come into Beans & Co. in Avon, Connecticut. That's where he works.
All right, I will make that on our list, and we'll try and make it over there one day to try and see if you're there. Hopefully, our timing works out. As for the playoffs, the Yankees are now healthy, and we saw last night that team can hit. They've got a lot of offense. So I think it's going to be Dodgers-Yankees, and I give the edge. I got to watch what I say because my wife is a Yankee fan, and she won't like if I pick the Dodgers. But I really like the Dodgers to beat the Yankees in the World Series, but we won't tell her that I said that.
Ryan, you have your hand up. What's your question for Kevin?
I have a question. I do remember him from the Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
Yes. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. I have a question for you. I heard something really smart from you yesterday when I saw your video. So my question is, I'm doing something for Special Olympics for inclusion campaign.
So I'm sorry. Was you're doing something for the inclusion campaign? Is that right, Ryan?
We can't hear you.
They're working on it. Looks like it's.
I know he wanted to have the Ryan Pajoli inclusion campaign. It's a project he's working on. I think he wanted to make you aware of it.
Hey, what do you think of it?
Oh, Ryan, listen, if you're involved in a campaign for inclusion, I think it's a great idea. I mean, that's the whole part of what inclusion's about, right? Everybody being involved. Ryan, get involved as much as possible. I think that's a really good idea that you're a part of it.
Thank you. Yes, and guess what? Debbie's helping me out.
Oh, that's great. Good job by Debbie.
And also talking to people like about what Special Olympics is if they didn't hear anything yet, like if they don't know it.
It's an important thing to do, right? Spreading the message of Special Olympics and inclusion, right, Becca? Becca just hopped on.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do something before.
That's okay. We're glad you're here. So we have a couple more questions coming in. Bobby wants to know, what is your favorite NFL football teams?
Ooh, okay. So I can talk about it right now because they finally won a game. But my favorite football team is in the NFL is the Eagles. Because I was born outside of Philadelphia. Well, I was born in Philadelphia, and then I grew up outside of Philadelphia. And the reason why I fell in love with sports is I used to watch football with my dad and my brother and my mom, and we always would watch the Eagles games. So that's been with me since I was 5 years old. I actually remember the Eagles going to the Super Bowl when I was 5 back in 1980. So I made sure that my boys and my young daughter, who's 4, that they know that we follow the Eagles. They love the Eagles. They have their own teams too, but they also love Daddy's Eagles. And we have a lot of fun with it. We talk about all the games. We talk about, one of the cool things that we do at home on Sunday mornings is we make our picks. We put all the games up on a board, and we all make our own picks. And at the end of every game, we circle who won which game. And it's a lot of fun because it gets the kids involved and me involved, and we all get the chance to talk about the teams and the players that we like. So we have a lot of fun on Sundays talking about the NFL.
Cool.
Mary Beth, I see your hand up. Do you have a
I'm
question?
a Brandon
Then we'll
fan,
go to John. Go ahead, Mary Beth. Oh, we can't hear you. We're having a little trouble. Let's hop to John and we'll come back to Mary Beth. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
Ask your question.
Yeah, Kevin, do you think
football will be back to normal next fall?
John, that's a great question. I am hoping we're back to normal everywhere next fall. And if we are, that would be amazing for all of us, right? That we can get the chance to get together and maybe go to an event and go see Special Olympics together. I know there's a lot of activities that are in the fall, especially in the state of Connecticut. I hope we are. I really do. I think slowly we're getting there, but we're all being very smart and safe, especially in this state, wearing our masks and following the rules. And if that means that we do it a little bit longer, that gets us closer to finding a vaccine of the virus, allowing us to be outside in 2021. That's a great thing, right? That's the key for all of us.
Okay, I think Kimberly had her hand up. Kimberly, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have 3 questions. If you could interview anyone, who would it be and why?
Okay, so Kimberly, I'm really happy that you got 3 questions, so we'll go one at a time.
Okay.
The first one, if I could interview anybody, who would it be and why? Wow, that is a really good question. I would probably say right now, if I could interview somebody, it'd probably be LeBron James, as he is about to win a championship. And we're only talking sports, so I would probably want to know what this whole experience has been like for him inside the bubble, and what are his next options. Another guy that I really like to talk to, and I've had the chance to talk to a lot, and now that he's in the NFL and he's going to be, I think, a star down the road, is Tua Tagovailoa, who is the Dolphins quarterback. He's a backup quarterback, but he used to play at Alabama, and he's a bright young man, and his family's always around him, and they have a lot of love for each other. I'd be curious to hear what his experience has been like. So I think as of right now, those are probably the first 2 guys that I would want to interview. If there was a female that I could interview, it would be Asia Wilson, who's the MVP of the WNBA. And she has had a fantastic season, and now she's in the bubble playing, getting in this championship series against the Storm, representing the Aces. I'd be curious to understand what it's been like for her this season, especially being the first-time WNBA MVP. So that's a really good question, Kimberly. What else do we have?
Also, how do you get your information? Do you watch the full game, or someone tells you?
Really good question. Kimberly asked me, how do I get information? Do I watch the games, or does somebody tell me stuff? So it's actually a lot. There's a lot of things. So we watch games. I do a lot of reading, especially with writers that cover teams and leagues, and I make sure I understand what's going on with, for example, today, if I'm talking about the Titans as they try to play football, or what's going on with the Cowboys, or how are we getting ready for the Lakers and the Heat, I'm doing a lot of my own research. And then when I come to ESPN, I start writing a show with the producer. And then after we're done writing, I go on the set, and there's a researcher there who just gives us information. And if I have a question from that, from any sport, I ask the researcher, and he or she may provide that information because they look stuff up. So we're getting all this information from everybody and then putting it together in one show. Really good question, Kimberly. How about your third one?
Okay, my third one is, what's your favorite sport to watch and to play, and why?
Ooh, my favorite sport to watch, I would say football, because I love, it just brings me back to, growing up as a kid with my dad and playing football outside with my brother. My favorite sport to play is any sport that my kids want to play. So right now we're playing football. That could be tomorrow we're playing basketball. That could be 2 days from now we're having a baseball catch. Having a baseball catch with my kids, there's nothing better. So it's whatever sport they want to play. I can tell you that my 6-year-old has a ball in his hand all the time, and all he wants to do is throw the ball in the house. And we got to make sure we protect the furniture, but he throws the ball everywhere. And then me and him have a catch, and there's nothing better. So it's whatever sport that my kids want to play, I will play it, and then we'll go out there and have fun.
That's really cool. I can relate because I have a nephew and he loves playing sports. So he likes soccer,
Yep.
baseball, basketball, hockey,
Yep.
and they
There's
love
nothing better
Rumble
than that.
Run.
You know, and Kimberly, it's great. It's great that your nephew's involved, and it's exciting. And you're always using your brain. You're always using your body. You're always active. Yeah, my 6-year-old doesn't care to watch TV. All he wants to do is play sports. Literally, that's all he wants to do. And I'm all for that. Let's just go outside and run around. So we try to do that as much as possible.
And then his sister always goes with him wherever he goes.
Oh yeah, well that's what sisters
Yeah.
are supposed to do. Yeah, that's their job. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Beth, you want to try again? Can we hear you? No, we're still having trouble hearing you, Mary Beth. Maybe if you could type your question in the chat box.
That's a good
Okay,
idea.
we've got, I know Angie had mentioned something in the chat box that she saw you sat with you at one of the dinners. Angie, where are you? Do you want to say a few words?
I think I met you a couple years ago at the award dinner, and I think I sat next to you
Was
for the ESPN. I
no,
don't
that one,
remember.
yeah, and Lisa was there at our table too. I remember.
Yeah.
That. Yes, that was a good time. That was a big night. Well, I think we had like 600, 700 people at the Turf Club, right?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
we took
so.
some pictures of you and Kevin together, I believe. So
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of people.
How many people can fit in that turf club?
A lot.
Let's see. Bobby wants to know, what is your favorite WWE wrestlers in the 1980s and 1990s?
Wow. In the 1980s, I loved Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. They were the two guys that dominated everything. That, for me, right now I love Roman Reigns because I love his story and what he went through. Of course, I think the most famous one would be The Rock. I'm a big fan of The Rock, and I've had the chance to interview The Rock, and he's a lot of fun. He's a really, really nice person.
Wait,
Dwayne Johnson.
Rock is also Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, the Rock is a great person.
He plays Maui in Moana.
He plays Maui in Moana. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like him as Maui.
Yeah, he's great as Maui. We watch Maui all the time. I mean, we watch
I
Moana
love
all the
Maui,
time.
Yeah.
So he's great in that.
Wait,
Yeah.
you met him?
Yeah, I've had the chance to interview him. He's really nice. Actually, I'll show you guys a picture I have of me and The Rock in the Sports Center studio. You guys.
Where
wanna
is
see
that
it?
in?
It was in Connecticut.
He looks
Is it
better as
still there?
Maui.
Okay, can you guys
Is it still there though?
see that? That's me.
Oh, yeah.
and The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He hasn't
so
changed
cool.
a bit.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
He hasn't changed a
I love
bit.
cooking.
He was very, very nice, very cool. He was very big too, much bigger than me.
Mhm.
Wow.
A lot of muscle.
Okay, we've
Can I
got,
ask a question too?
He had muscles over muscles. His whole muscle was as big as my body, but
Kev?
he was very nice.
Kev, I
Oh,
got the 3-part question myself, too.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, have you ever communicate with Disney when you do ESPN? Because I love the ESPN at our hotel.
Have I ever communicated to? I've done a couple of highlight shows that were on Disney Plus or Disney
Oh, yeah.
Disney Junior, which was great. I did. I used to do a thing called the Top 5 on Disney Junior, and that was a lot of fun.
Because we stay at the Boardwalk when we go to Disney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been to the restaurant there.
Yeah, the stuff
Yeah.
there at Disney is great.
And two, what was your video about the other day on Facebook? I was trying to open it.
What video? There
it was the unified.
It was on your their website of SOCT.
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
we announced We announced we were setting things up and talking about the top 10 schools that were going to be involved with inclusion, and it was schools all across the
Oh,
country.
cool. So I
So
met from my school, Shelton High.
yeah, so I think Lisa, is the announcement coming on October 12th, or is it coming soon?
So there's Monday, maybe Tuesday at this point because we got pushed back a little bit.
Gotcha.
But it's probably Tuesday. The top 5 schools from across the country that are going to be named ESPN's top 5 unified champion schools will be announced. I think it was 32 that we were kind of celebrating this year. Was 32, which is a lot. And
It just gets bigger and
thinking
bigger.
about there's over 6,000 unified schools across the world, and our goal is to help you guys reach 10,000. So yeah,
That's good. And my last question is, do you ever get to see if any of my NBC 30 friends?
Not recently. I will tell you that my wife used to work at NBC 30. She used to be on the air. Her name was Monica Buchanan when she used to be on TV.
I know her.
Dude, that's my wife. So
Oh my God, I want to her.
yeah,
She's-
so she now works at Connecticut Children's, but she used to be on NBC 30, and I had the
Oh my
chance to know
gosh.
everybody. Ryan Hanrahan, Bob Maxon.
Oh,
I know her. I know him.
Ryan's my friend.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
all
she
they're all,
did love
they're
to
all
say
great
hi.
people. They're all great people, and they're friends of our family too.
I still have her picture from the past.
Nice. And Jerry Brooks is a good friend. All the
Oh, how's
yeah,
he doing?
with Monica. He's doing great. He's enjoying retirement.
Oh, that's right. He retired. And I knew my old friend Brad Drazen years ago, too.
Yes, Monica used to work with Brad and Jerry all the
Yeah, I
time.
miss Brad, too. He
Can I
left.
get your question?
Mm.
Yes.
Kevin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. I am Alex I'm involved with the Vision Olympics also. And so was Brian Harrigan. I know him by my brother-in-law's friend. And he has been for other as well. I do bowling, I do swimming, I do all kinds of stuff.
That's great. Bowling and swimming are fantastic sports, Teresa. I'm glad you're involved in that.
My
Swimming's
name is
really good.
no, Teresa is my mom. I am Alicia.
Oh, hi, Alicia. Okay, well, that's great, Alicia.
Okay.
Well, it says Teresa, so I said that. So tell Teresa, you tell your mom I said hi. And
I will.
nice, that's good stuff, Alicia.
Excuse me, Deb. Can we invite Ryan to do Zoom with us just one day? I miss him.
We'll see what we can do. In the meantime, we've got some more questions coming in. So
I
Chris,
have Janet is my brother-in-law. I can tell him if he can.
Okay.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
Chris,
But
Christy,
later.
she had a question. We're getting some more questions in the chat box. She says, question for Kevin. What is your favorite Special Olympic sport to watch when you come to our events? Great question.
Oh,
It is.
Wow, that's a
It is.
really good question.
I'm gonna go, Debbie, but I'll see you guys later, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Becca.
bye, Beck.
Bye.
So it just depends because, when you have the winter games, it's a little bit different. When you have the summer games, it's a little bit different. I do like the track and field stuff a lot. To me, I think it's just a lot of fun.
Best sport.
And I like the swimming competitions. Anything that gives
that's
me
what I
a
do.
chance to go outside and watch. I like when you guys are playing golf. The skiing stuff is incredible. So it just depends. It depends. The figure skating that we've seen. It just depends on what season we're in and kind of where we're at. And then we'll find like a certain sport or a certain activity that we always like to go to, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So it just depends. Like if I'm in Los Angeles, I was at the track and field as well as watching golf. If I was in Seattle, we were outdoors, so we did a lot of track and field. When we were in Abu Dhabi, we had the chance to see a lot of soccer, which was amazing. And then, when we did the games in Austria, we had the chance to see everybody go down the slope. And I thought that was amazing watching, the skiing event. So it just depends on where we're at.
That's awesome that you mentioned swimming because Christy is a big swimmer. Hey, Christy, raise your hand. So
And so am I.
yeah.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Let's see. So Nick wants to know, Kevin, is UConn men's and women's basketball teams going to play this year?
Yes, I hope so, Nick. I really do. I think they're going to play starting in a little bit more in I don't want to say the fall, but more winter 2021 in January and February. That's when we'll see a lot of UConn men's and women's basketball, and that'll be a good thing.
Is there anybody that didn't ask a question yet that would like to? Let's see. I see Ryan.
Can I ask like one more?
Oh, okay, Ryan, and then Alicia. Go ahead, Ryan. Oh, we can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Let's see. Try to unmute. Just click on the little microphone on your screen there. There
Yeah,
you go.
Hi, Ryan. We can hear you now.
I have a two-part question. One is for you, and then later on, Debbie Horn on the end.
Uh-oh.
My question to you is, I know you know something, but I want to ask you this question because it's very interesting. Do you know, what's that guy's name? LeBron James.
Do I know him? Yeah, I know. Yes, I know LeBron James. I'm not sure if LeBron knows too much about me, but I know
him.
LeBron James.
Let him know that Ryan says hi, and I want to thank him for advocating for all of us.
I will make sure when I talk to LeBron the next time that I will say that, Ryan.
Okay, thank you. And last thing for you is if you see a correspondent, let them know Ryan says hi, and I do want to have a sit down with SBN if Debbie can arrange it.
I don't think I have the power.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ready for me?
Okay, go ahead, Alicia.
Can I say one? Can I ask you one more? What do you do for a living?
What's easier for?
No, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
He's a star in ESPN. He's an anchor in ESPN for Sports Center.
I've been curious, you know?
Oh, at least. So you know what I do? I talk about sports on TV. So if you have ESPN and you ever watch Sports Center, we do a lot of highlights and interviews, and we talk about all the big stories that are going on in sports. So I just talk about sports and athletes and results. And it's like, for example, tonight, I'll be talking about Game 4 of the NBA Finals and how the Miami Heat are down 2-1 to the Lakers. And I'll talk about guys like LeBron James and Jimmy Butler. I'll also be talking about the Major League Baseball playoffs, the WNBA Finals. So I get the chance to talk about a bunch of athletes like I get the chance to talk to you guys. You guys are the athletes.
You inspire me, Kaz.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Any additional questions? I
was gonna say he was Dad.
Question for
He's an
Kevin.
amazing person that he inspires.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have connections with John Temple. He's my brother-in-law. I can ask him if you get Ryan Harrigan to be our guest speaker.
I'm sure Ryan would do it.
I can ask.
Can you bring Mom?
Here.
So I
Can
have
you
a
bring
question
Monica
for
next time?
Kevin. I wanted to ask, what is your advice for our global messengers when they're doing interviews? What makes a good interview? Like, what do you, if they have the opportunity to talk to somebody like you, can you give them some helpful tips as far as good interview skills?
It's okay to ask simple questions like, why did you, why are you helping? What makes you involved in something like this? What pushes you, what motivates you. There was a very smart question early on where you guys asked me if I get nervous or, and dealing with courage on TV.
I'm curious.
So that's the stuff that I think you can get a lot out of an interview. If you ask them, why do they get involved in their own profession? What makes them happy on a daily basis? Like, for example, what makes me happy every day is interacting with people, making my kids and my wife smile, as well as them making me smile. Like, those are the things I think you can get a lot out of in an interview with somebody. And then who inspires them? Who are their role models, and what do they want to do to help everybody else? Like, I think when you ask questions like that, where they have to sit there and think and give you something that's thought-provoking, those are the good questions and the better answers you're going to get.
That's kind of how I felt when I started my new job. I felt nervous.
Everybody does, right?
Yeah.
I want to tell
Yeah,
everybody.
true.
You can't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. I'm not perfect. So you can't be perfect in anything you do. Like, everything you do every day, just be aware that you're trying your best, and it's okay, and you can forgive yourself. I think too many times people think that we're perfect or we live a perfect life. No one's perfect.
Right.
There are things like, for example, on Saturday night, guys, I did a broadcast on ABC, and we were on doing college football and talking about college football games at halftime. And there are one or two things that I wish I could go back and do again. I can't go back and do again. I can do it again on Saturday and do it differently and do it better. So every day every day we're doing something. We could try and do something better the next day, but we don't need to get down on ourselves. Just we have to be kind to ourselves and be positive.
Right. At least it doesn't give you a headache, I suppose.
No one gives me a headache. No, nothing.
That's
No. As long as you're doing something that you feel is the best to your ability, that's all that matters.
Right. Because I know sometimes when I get stressed out, I feel like a headache comes on right away.
Anytime I feel like I'm getting stressed out, I work on a breathing exercise.
Ooh, I should
I count to 10, and I breathe in. That's 1.
Yep.
And then breathe out. And then by the time I'm at 10,
Good
everything's slowed down. So I do a lot of the meditation and the breathing exercises. That helps me a lot. Anytime I feel like I'm anxious or I have a headache or I'm worried about something, it kind of presses the reset button for me.
Yeah, that maybe should help me too. Because sometimes when I feel like that, I should like stop and think.
Yes, totally.
Right.
Yeah, that's very important to help. Deb, that could help with our next exercise when we do our trainings.
That sounds good. It's a really good advice. Really good suggestion.
Yeah,
Okay, I had another question come in the chat box. It's from Nick Sinacori. Kevin, who do you think the next manager of the Red Sox will be?
Ooh.
You better be careful because Bo Doherty joined, and he's kind of a Red Sox fan. I see him on here.
It better be a good answer. That's all I have to say, Kevin.
He's a Bonefish fan.
So I don't know who the manager will be, but I hope they give Alex Cora another chance. I think Alex Cora is the right person, and he's a very good manager.
A live Red Sox game.
Did you? That's great, Vincent.
It's like a plenty of time.
I actually, for my high school goal, was to sit behind the Red Sox thing behind the home plate.
Yeah.
Able to reach my goal.
Oh,
that's really awesome.
That's a good goal to have.
Now I'm a Who's Boston fanatic.
Ryan, I see your hand up again. Do you have another question?
Yes, Debbie. My question is from the guy from ESPN. Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Can you invite LeBron James on the Zoom?
Ryan, I wish I could. Ryan, I wish I could. I don't think LeBron is picking up his phone right now because he's got to.
I know. That's why I'm asking if you can ask Debbie.
Oh, okay. If Debbie could get LeBron James, then I'm requesting that as well. So I understand, Ryan. I'm with you.
Thank,
I think so, yeah.
thank you.
You get to fool around sometimes, Kev, like when you do news and sometimes you feel like you get yourself silly. What do you do about that?
I think it's okay to have fun. Like, we're talking about sports, so if you can't laugh at yourself, there was one time I was on TV before I came to ESPN. I was on the air at an ABC station in Florida, and I couldn't stop laughing. Like, the things were going all over the place. Like, we had the wrong video, we had the wrong conversations, we had the wrong graphics. I just laughed for 3 straight minutes, and I think the audience understands that you can't be perfect, and it's okay. So just have fun with it, and then we move on.
Right, exactly. Yep.
My job is just to have fun and provide an outlet for people so they can watch sports for entertainment purposes and understand that it's all about games and having fun.
That's why I try not to be too serious with
Smart.
things. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Is there anybody that hasn't asked a question yet that would like to?
I'm good. I'm good.
No, well, good.
I have a question for you, Deb.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I got myself a QB, so I was wondering if that would count towards Fit 5.
Oh, we can talk about that afterwards, Jen.
Okay.
Okay, with the health team. That sounds good.
Kevin, you've had a lot of opportunity to work with Special Olympics athletes who actually are announcers for us at ESPN. And just thinking about those relationships that you've made with some of those athletes, such as Dustin and Dana, and then of course recently RJ, you know, in the writing space. So
and Lisa, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. You know, I learned a lot from Dustin and Dana because they were athletes that were involved in the games. And they were athletes that played many of the games that we talked about on the air. So here I was learning from them while they were learning from me. And it felt like our broadcasts were the perfect example of what Unified is about, right? I was understanding their point of view as an athlete and what they were experiencing at those games, while at the same time, I was sharing what it's like for us as a broadcaster because they were on the broadcasting side with me to make sure we can educate the audience. So when you can go back and forth with that, it's pretty incredible, and you can learn so much as a global messenger on one side, but at the same time, they're learning with you in the process, and you're experiencing it together. And I think that's the perfect example of what unified sport is all about. As for RJ, I'm really proud of him. I actually was emailing him today. I retweeted one of his tweets from yesterday because he has a story about the unified schools and the experience. And the cool thing about RJ is I met RJ, 3 years ago or 2 years ago in Seattle, and he's done an internship at ESPN, and we can watch him continue to grow. I think that we can have that shared experience and at the same time grow together. That's what it's all about. And RJ wants to get better every single day. He writes every day. He listens to the advice that many people pass, and he reaches out to people. I'm pretty darn proud of the kid because he wants to get to ESPN eventually every day, and he's doing everything he can to get there.
Pretty incredible. We have a question from Bo, actually, for Kevin. He says, I want to know who Kevin's top 3 sports heroes are from his childhood.
Wow. So as a kid, I loved Dr. J, who was Julius Erving. He played for the Sixers.
Yep.
He was the star of the Sixers when the Sixers won the championship when I was 8 years old. As a kid also, Mike Schmidt was my idol. He played third base for the Phillies. So every day I was either Dr. J outside when I played basketball, or I was Mike Schmidt when I was batting, and I would hit home runs and playing wiffle ball and think I was Mike Schmidt. I did everything he did in his batting stance. And then when I was a teenager, a young teenager, Bo Jackson was my ultimate idol because he played football and baseball. So the cool thing about my job is when I got to ESPN, I got the chance to interview Mike Schmidt. I got the chance to interview Bo Jackson twice. And honestly, it was like I was like a kid again. And I got the chance to meet Dr. J. So that's the stuff that, you know, when I was 14 years old, I dreamt about going to SportsCenter and working at ESPN. And that's the stuff that you just say, oh man, well maybe that'll happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. And realistically, it doesn't happen. But I'm the perfect example about dreaming big and every day just working hard for that dream. And to get that chance was pretty amazing, Bo. To meet all three of them, they were all very kind and nice, and they fit the bill when it came to your meeting, you know, your role models as athletes.
And a follow-up question. Let's see. It says, if Kevin was in a unified sport, what sport would he choose?
I'd probably pick basketball because I love playing basketball. And you know, one of the cool things, and Lisa was involved in this with me, when we had the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game in New York City, and I coached one of the unified teams, and the other coach on the other side was Steph Curry. And so our team was going back and forth, and Steph's team had a huge lead at halftime, and our team came back and won in the second half. And to be able to be involved in something like that, that was really a thrill. Like,
and you wanted to get out on that court so bad.
Yeah.
And you were coaching, you were like dying, right?
I was. And you know, the cool thing is, Lisa, that Steph and I, we had some banter back and forth, and I shared this story a couple times. That year, Steph won the MVP. Steph was an NBA champ, and you know, I ran into Steph later, and I said, "But you lost to me in that unified game, so I beat you that year because everybody else. So at least I have something on him. So it's all in good fun, and our team played really well at the end."
Nick's got another great question for you here, Kevin. It says, Kevin, how important do you think it was to bring sports back during COVID-19?
Wow, Nick, that's a really good question. I think the most important thing, first off, was the health of all the people that were involved in the leagues. And that includes, you know, the people that work behind the scenes to help the athletes, families. Those are the most important things. Once we could figure that out, for example, in the NHL as well as in the NBA, in the WNBA, when you can, and the MLS, when you can create a bubble here and you can make sure everybody's following the protocols, it shows you that you're being kind, not to yourself, but to everybody, right? It's showing that you are being mindful of everybody around you because the bubble's inclusive, right? So I think it showed us that if you can have some generosity towards others as well as yourself, that you guys can all move forward and perform as high-level athletes and show unity. And then I also think that it helps people at home. It helps people at home that, hey, athletes are showing us the way. Leagues are showing us the way. Leaders are showing us the way on being mindful of each other. And I think that's pretty important that we're seeing from the sports world. Usually, you see a lot of equality in the sports world that I think people outside the sports world can take notes from. And we're seeing that also in unified sport as well as what we're doing in Special Olympics, that it's just including everybody and seeing everybody as an equal. You get that in sports. And I'm pretty proud of what we've done so far.
It's a pretty great response. I know we got a few minutes left. I know Kevin's been spending so much time with us, and we're so grateful for his time and just being with us today and answering all our great questions. So maybe we could just take a couple more and kind of wrap things up so he can get back to work. And
I got one more question to ask him.
Okay.
Kevin, what do you like to do in your free time when you're not working?
Oh, so I'm going to do it right when we're done. I'm probably going to go work out. Working out actually helps me and my
Excellent.
brain with the endorphins.
I have my own trainer with that.
Yeah, if we can work out 20 to 30 minutes a day, it really helps, I think, everybody with their mental state and just being involved in something. So it helps me before I go into work and write a show. What else I like to do? I just like to spend time with my kids and laugh with them. And they're at a very fun age at 8, 6, and 4. So we can do a lot of things together. And that could be. Last night, my 4-year-old, she wanted to sit down and we played dolls. She has these LOL dolls.
Cute.
And we had fun because I was with the boys earlier in the day where they wanted to have a catch. And last night it was about her. And so she got the chance to choose. We played chess together, all of us. We played cards together. So
Wow.
anything that I'm involved with the family is makes me happy.
I gotta tell my personal trainer, who's a friend of mine from school, that you taught us with exercise and stuff.
Well, it's important. I think the breathing exercises and the physical exercises really will help us.
Good. Thanks, Kev.
You're welcome.
Ryan, can we wrap it up with your question?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Debbie.
Uh-oh, this is about Kevin. It's not about
Who's gonna Kev?
No, I didn't say that. My question is about healthy athletes. I know a really good doctor. His name is Anthony Fauci. He knows everything about health. So I'm asking you, do you want him to come on Zoom to talk about healthy athletes?
We can talk about that later, Ryan. Thank you so much. I love it.
Ryan's an event planner. I like that. He coordinates. He's a coordinating producer. He makes sure things happen with guests.
Big dreams.
Yes, by Debbie's approval, because she's the best.
Absolutely.
And, do you have a question for Kevin?
Hey Kevin, with the NFL with the COVID-19, how do you feel with the some of the coaches not following the protocol?
How do I feel about some of the coaches?
The coaches from the NFL teams that's not following the protocols.
Oh, Kimberly, these are good questions. Yeah, I think that the league is upset at some of these coaches for not following the rules. This goes back to being aware of everybody else. If you have rules for everybody else, you have to follow the rules as well. So I'm glad that the NFL has spoken out to some of the coaches for making sure they're wearing their masks at all times. Because if you're going to make sure your players wear masks and everybody around you has to wear a mask, you also have to follow the protocol. So I'm glad people are realizing that rules are rules for everybody, and it's really important that we press that.
Great. Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
I swear if I ever get too close without wearing a mask, I will immediately clean up my room. Yeah, I did that after my doctor's appointment.
Good job. Smart.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Well, I think we're all so grateful for Kevin's time and Lisa's time and all that ESPN does for us, being a phenomenal champion for unified sports around the world. I'm sure you'll be seeing them a lot more in the future, and we're so grateful for their time and the questions that they responded to are amazing answers. And Kevin, all that you've done for Special Olympics, we're so grateful. So let's give them a round of applause, everybody.
Good job, Kev.
Thank you. And Debbie, can I just say, these were great questions, like really smart, thoughtful questions from everyone. So thank you for making this a lot of fun. And thank you for Lisa getting me involved. It's great to see Bo and you as well. And everybody else involved here, thank you. I cannot wait to see you guys in person down the road. And
I can't wait.
Later on.
Say hi to Monica and Kenny for me.
I will for sure.
Yeah, I hope she remembers me.
My wife remembers a lot of people, so I will make sure I'll
Tell her, say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, say
Do
hi.
this recording of the session, Kevin, so you can have it and you can show your wife all the people on the call today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, well,
Take
that's
care,
what you
guys.
said,
Bye, everybody.
Kevin. Thanks, Kevin.
So
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll see you Thursday for bingo, Deb, unless
That'd be
somebody
great.
else.
Awesome.
See you, Debbie.
Yeah.
Guys,
Bye.
see you soon.
Bye-bye.